This is a little bit of a continuation from my last talk, which was just a few days after the ordination. And so I was talking about how happy we all are when there's an ordination. And it's so wonderful to see everybody's virtuous minds just blossoming and out there and shining, and the whole community's happy as well as the people who are getting ordained. So in that talk I talked a little bit about some of the verses that we chant during the ordination, and then today I wanted to talk about dedication verses that we chant. So there's one here that actually is a dedication verse for many of our monastic things. We just changed the first word in it. This one says ordination. Last night it was posada. It could be varsa. It could be pravarana. Okay, whatever it is. But it's a very beautiful one with quite a nice melody that really kind of opens you up a lot. So it starts out, ordination is a virtuous, wonderful deed. So right away, what do? You rejoice at your own merit, and you rejoice at the merit of other people. So this is completely opposite to our usual mind of jealousy, of picking faults, of the glass half empty, of nobody likes me, and I can't do anything right anyway. So you started out, ordination is a virtuous, wonderful deed. So let's all rejoice at everybody's virtue. Yeah. We dedicate the boundless, magnificent merit. Okay. So we usually think when we do some merit, this little bit. I did my offering bowls this morning, but I was half asleep. So but to really give ourselves some credit, and that it is boundless and magnificent merit, especially when somebody chooses to ordain and dedicates their life to the path to awakening. That's quite rare, and it's really wonderful when somebody does that, when somebody has that as the foremost thing in their life. Yeah. Not making a lot of money, not getting social status, that's not important, but really walking the path. So we rejoice first with the first two lines, and then we say, may all sentient beings submerged in suffering, so acknowledging the world that we live in and our own situation as limited sentient beings, but may all sentient beings submerged in suffering quickly go to the land of the Buddha of infinite light. So may we all go to Amitabha's Pure Land, Sukhavati. Yeah. So this is a really nice thing, because that makes you really, when you say that, the land of the Buddha of infinite light, immediately you get this image of this fantastic Pure Land. Yeah, where there's no climate change, there's no Taliban, there's no COVID. Amitabha's there, sitting under a tree teaching. Nagarjuna, they say, went to Sukhavati. That's why I want to go. And I want to study with Nagarjuna. So, you get this image of the Pure Land, where they say that everything you encounter teaches the Dharma. So even just the sound of the breeze in the trees is a teaching about impermanence. Okay? So everything, your whole world reminds you of the Dharma. And if we practice well, we can see that everything in our environment here too as a teaching on the Dharma, or some, teaching of the kindness of sentient beings, the teaching on the disadvantages of anger, whatever you want to make it into, to train our mind to see the things that we encounter in a day-to-day life as things that remind us of the Dharma, not just as ordinary things that we can complain about. Okay, so this morning there's been people working out there, taking up the floor of the old cabin. And so, bang, 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 bang. So you can listen to it and go, bang, 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 oh God, and they should have come a month ago, and why are they making so much noise today? And I hope they finish tomorrow, because if they don't, we're staking the building and it's going to be a problem. And your mind could spend the whole day, thinking, hearing the noise and thinking like that. Or you can think, uh, one of the syllogisms that we first learned when we learned debate is sound is impermanent because it's a product of causes. Okay, so then you think sound is impermanent. That leads you into a whole thought of impermanence. Okay, and how everything's changing. And on one hand, everything changes, so there's no sense getting attached to anything. So then when we release the attachment, our mind is very free. But impermanence is also, it gives the space for us to become Buddhas. Because if everything were fixed, no way could we change, no way could we become Buddhas. Okay, so don't always take impermanence as something bad, because actually, if thinking about impermanence releases us from our attachment, that's good, because attachment in the long run makes us quite miserable. When we have attachment, we have certain expectations, we have our rules of the universe, and then we get angry when things aren't the way we want. So releasing us from the attachment also saves us from that, the aggravation that follows from the attachment not being met. Okay, so that's how we dedicate it. And then we pay homage to all the holy beings. So homage to all Buddhas in 10 directions and 3 times. So thinking of all the Buddhas, in the 10 directions, the 4 cardinal directions, the 4 intermediate directions, up and down. Don't ask me why, that's just the way it is in ancient Indian culture, 10 directions. So we're paying homage to the Buddhas in all 10 directions in the past, present, future. So that includes the Buddha we're going to become, because we will become Buddhas in the future. Okay. And then to all Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, the Bodhisattvas, the great beings who, who live on the food of bodhicitta and, samadhi on emptiness, and then paying homage to the great Prajnaparamita, who is a female Buddha, who is the manifestation. Her name means the perfection of wisdom. So she is a manifestation of the perfection of wisdom. So we're paying homage to all these holy beings. And then that's the dedication verse for so many of our monastic activities. And then we usually follow it by another 3 verses, which I initially thought these verses were just verses of taking refuge that are often done at the end of a puja in the Chinese tradition. Because you start each one out, I take refuge in the Buddha, 2nd verse, I take a refuge in the Dharma, 3rd verse, I take a refuge in the Sangha. But actually, okay, there's a lot of meaning in these verses. So the first one, I take refuge in the Buddha, and then we make an aspiration. So the aspiration is part of our bodhicitta aspiration, what we are wishing for all sentient beings. So may each and every sentient being, all the ones we like, all the ones we're mad at, everybody we don't know, okay, we're dropping all of our categories and just thinking of all sentient beings. May all of them understand the great way profoundly. What is the great way? The Mahayana vehicle, the Mahayana. Mahayana is great, yeah, and yana is vehicle, or they sometimes translate it the universal vehicle. So we're aspiring, for everybody to enter the Bodhisattva path to pure full Buddhahood by generating the bodhicitta, based on equal-hearted love and compassion for each and every being. So here we are aspiring that may all sentient beings have this. May everybody in the Taliban have this. May everybody in Washington, D.C. May all the wolves have it. May all the fish in the sea. May our neighbors, So it's really quite a opening dedication. So may they bring forth, may they understand the Great Way profoundly, understand the bodhicitta and all the meditations leading up to it. And the last line, and bring forth the Bodhi mind, in other words, the bodhicitta. So may all sentient beings, become bodhisattvas. Then the second one, I take refuge in the Dharma. May each and every sentient being deeply enter the Sutra Treasury. Okay, so here I think the Sutra Treasury, I equate it with the wisdom part of the path. Okay, learning about emptiness, learning how to realize emptiness, learning how emptiness and dependent arising come to the point, how they dawn as the meaning of each other. Okay, so may everybody enter the Sutra Treasury and learn, and understand all of this and have wisdom vast as the sea. So that's the link to the wisdom path, entering the Sutra Treasury. Yeah, and may they all have wisdom vast as the huge oceans. Okay, so there we've dedicated first two verses, okay, for them to attain the method side of the path and the wisdom side of the path to awakening. Okay. And then the third one, I take refuge in the Sangha. May each and every sentient being form together a great assembly, one and all in harmony. Okay? So through everybody generating bodhicitta, everybody getting the wisdom realizing emptiness, and may all sentient beings come together in harmony and practice in harmony and attain the results of the path of method and wisdom. Okay, so what's the ultimate harmony that sentient beings attain? Buddhahood. When people come together on the path, we support each other. When we attain Buddhahood, our realizations are all the same, and you can't really differentiate different Buddhas according to their realizations. You differentiate them according to the specific attributes that they manifest more, manifest more evidently to sentient beings. Although every Buddha can appear as every other Buddha too. You may be enlightened in the aspect of Chenrezig, but for some other sentient being, you manifest as Tara or Medicine Buddha, like that. Okay, so this is the last verse is, through attaining full awakening, may we then go out and benefit all sentient beings and bring everybody together as one assembly of practitioners, all with the same goal and aspiration, living and practicing in harmony. And so each one of those aspirations is correlated with, first refuge in the Buddha, refuge in the Dharma, refuge in the Sangha. Yeah. So I think there's a lot to meditate on in these verses, and we chant them very slowly and we bow between each verse. So it's nice because it gives you a chance of really thinking about what you're dedicating for.